Oi oi, what's all this then? Gotta make Doctor Who a bloody woman?
James Bond a black geezer? Nah, I don't see it.
Next I'll make Superman a black transsexual.
It's that time of British culture again. As a new Doctor steps down from the role, Peter Capaldi being the best fucking thing that ever happened to the show, questions start raising. Who will be the next Doctor? Will the Doctor finally be a woman? And is this the end of Doctor Who as we know it? No, maybe, and no. I like to think the Doctor Who is a show that can survive any bad casting of a Doctor, but holy shit, has it not boded well in the past. When Tom Baker stepped down from the role, Peter Davison emerged, and everyone was like, he's no Tom Baker, is he? And from there, he was replaced with what many agree to be the worst Doctor of all time, as the show hit its worst point in its history. Wasn't the actor's fault, but the Doctor's fault. Yeah. Due to one bad casting, Doctor Who ended up on a rocky road with a bad production team, a terrible showrunner, and not being able to cast the Doctor right. The late 80s spelt the end for Doctor Who, and it never really recovered, until modern day, where we seem to be at the exact same crossroads. To my knowledge, people actually bet on who's going to be the next Doctor Who, which is crazy to me. Has anybody ever won money off of this? Because most of the time it's been random or unknown actors. Who knew Matt Smith before 2010? Who could have guessed that two-time series regular would join the series as an older Doctor? And why do so many people think they know who the next one will be? These suggestions are terrible. Here are 10 people the next Doctor will not be. Please fucking God, anyone but these. If Stephen Moffat jumped into my house, held a gun to my head and told me to cast the next Doctor, my fan casting would have to be Adrian Lester. You might recognise him from various Shakespeare adaptations and the BBC series Hustle. I'd pick him not as some statement on diversity or finally, it's time for a black Doctor, so brave. But because he's just a really talented actor with range and an alien sort of distance to him. Which is why I was pumped when it turns out the one who is rumoured to be the next Doctor, 13, Chris Marshall. The exact opposite. I could not find you a more opposite man. Please, anyone else? Anyone else? I get that you want another Tennant. The young energy and merchandising. No. This isn't how you do it. Matt Smith worked because he came across as an old man with experience behind his eyes. David Tennant came off because he had a mad sort of energy that was otherworldly. Chris Marshall is the guy from the BT adverts. And in the family? Yeah. He's a bloke. A bloke with the most average face I could pick out of a crowd, honestly. Look at Chris Marshall, look at his CV, and then tell me that he could pull off a scene like this. Or this.
And you've got any plans on taking the Pandorica tonight? Just remember who's standing in your way.
Or this.
How many lives shattered? How much blood will spill until everybody does what they were always going to have to do from the very beginning? Sit down and talk!
I'd argue that gender, race, ethnicity, none of that matters as much as commanding presence. If you are the Doctor, you have to be able to outtalk everybody else in the room. That is the only traits that all 12 existing Doctors share. 14 if you want to be a bitch about it. Next up, Tilda Swinton. Why would Tilda Swinton want to play the Doctor? Just strange. Snowpiercer. I don't get it. I just don't get that. It's because she's British and has an alien face. It wouldn't be the worst casting in the world, and even Capaldi recommended her, but... Call me optimistic, but Tilda Swinton? Chris Marshall? These sound like Doctor suggestions made up by The Sun. I know it's the BBC saying this, but the BBC have been very strange with their marketing recently. Remember all those trailers that meant to come out and then leaked details? I think they're up to stuff. I think they're a bit desperate for views, so I don't trust BBC too much lately. I think they're pulling a fast one on us. Because come on, Chris Marshall! Doctor trying to sell me BT Internet. Nah. Richard Ayoade. No. Really funny comedian. Great personality. I've read his book and he's one of the best dry comedians we have. But he's good for panel shows, not this. And he would be a try-hard Doctor. He would be overly witty and overly charismatic, and didn't we have enough of that with Tumblr Matt Smith? And then you get stuff like Andrew Scott, Ben Whishaw. Like, you know Britain has more than 10 actors, right? You mean cause you saw him in a Bond movie? And that's British. And he's young. Ah! Publishing Sun articles is easier than I thought. Come on guys, let's try a little bit harder here. This is why we're not casting directors, okay? Because if I was a talent scout, I'd find better than Eddie Redmayne, the most punchable face in British film. It's quite staggering that this man keeps getting work. Like an uncharismatic Matt Smith, actually. Too obvious, too pandering. And talking about pandering, ugh! Holy shit, is Olivia Colman a good actress? If anybody had to step up and be a female doctor tomorrow, yeah, sure. Broadchurch co-star Olivia Colman. Might be a bit odd explaining, why did I regenerate into the weird lizard thing that one time? But fuck it, you made the Pompeii thing work, so go for it. Except in my heart, I don't like the idea of a female doctor. Fuck you!
Boo!
Sexy. Okay, you cut that out right now. I do not want a female doctor because I feel at this point in the show, even though it's been made perfectly clear that Time Lords can regenerate into different genders or races, maybe he's just a male Time Lord who feels safest being male with many male themes attached to him. Is that okay? I never care about gender unless it's embedded in the format of the character. The Doctor is embedded with grandfatherly themes across all 12 faces. Even Matt Smith, the youngest actor to play the role, understood this. But then the show can grow and develop and become new and explore grandmotherly themes, and it's like, yes, but doesn't a female Doctor at number 13 come across as pandering? It's political critics gone mad. No, it's 12 male Time Lord faces, and then suddenly at the end, one random female one would come across as out of place. And we'd look back at it on the future as pandering. We just would. The entire show's format changes. And I don't know how this happened, but it just does. God damn, I can fan cast some talented actresses for it, though. Which takes us on to, Michelle Gomez. The act who plays... Next one. Rupert Grint. Because he's young and he was in something British, right? Oh, and now he gets to be the Doctor. This would be awful and kill the show immediately. Stop suggesting things. And then David Tennant? Him and Matt Smith come up fairly often. Have they watched this series? Don't worry, Tennant. I'd probably give someone that look as well if they suggested you again. What sense would this make, and why would anybody want this? I don't know, but some poor fucker's betting money on it. Oh god, let's wrap this up. Who else we got? Martin Freeman? Yeah, of course. Why not? Dudley from Harry Potter. Your choice. Miranda Hart. I'm sorry, you picked wrong. That was in fact the wrong answer. At the end of the day, I don't really care which talent we get. It comes down mostly to the showrunner. Give us an unknown. Give us a new face who we've never heard. Give us another Matt Smith. Give us anybody except Danny fucking Dyer. Oi, I could easily be a Time Lord. Fuck off back to Celebrity Juice, where you belong. That won't happen, right? This can happen. Oh fuck, it could totally happen, couldn't it? Kinda fucked up how I care about the next Doctor more than the next Prime Minister. Oh well.